Optiks.
Born and raised Cincinnati, Ohio, and then I've been all over the place. Spent a couple years in Cleveland, Orlando. Now I'm in Brooklyn, New York, right here, Sunset Park.
Yeah.
You know, I remember my parents playing. I remember the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, The Doors. Always hearing The Doors, because like my dad got that as a Christmas present or something, like the box set. So I always heard The Doors. And Jimi Hendrix, Michael Jackson, what else? And I'm sure there was some embarrassing things too, like Gloria Estefan or something. I don't know.
For sure.
Well, I'd say when I was about 10 years old, I started getting into hip hop and like alternative rock. So I liked Nirvana, Green Day, stuff like that. You know, basically the stuff like on a pop level. And then I had like LL Cool J, Tupac, like Coolio, you know, whatever was coming out. Although I do remember seeing the video for Sitting on Chrome, and I liked Master Ace a lot. So, you know.
Excellent choice.
Well, I took piano lessons for a couple years as a kid. I was never very dedicated, never very good. But they started this electronic music class, and I did that for just a brief period. But like I was using Cakewalk. It was like little MIDI sounding beats. Wasn't even really anything you could listen to, but I just would sit there for hours doing that. And I was probably about 11, 12 at this time. And then just from there, kind of took a couple years off from music. Was like, you know, playing football, like basketball, whatever. And then just ended up getting back into it, just for fun, and you know, would find like CDs of like records I wanted. I didn't even have a record player to hook up. I'd like sample off CDs from the library or like that my dad had, or you know, just whatever, and you know, try to just read anything I could, like album credits, articles. Like I remember reading an article in The Source about Pete Rock, where he like described how he would, like they described him making a beat, and I like followed that exact same process, or at least what I thought was that exact same process, and tried to do the same thing. And I remember thinking it was like the hottest shit ever, you know. And but you know, just always tried to learn from whoever, like, you know, whoever I was listening to, try to learn and see what they were doing and how I could do it like that. And when I first started making beats, I was really inspired by like RZA, Havoc, Alchemist, and then Premier. But I mean, really everybody. It went deep in that, like Pete Rock, Large Professor, like Dr. Dre, Timbaland, whoever, like different styles. Because I've never really been one to just do a certain style. You know, I like making beats all over the spectrum. You know, I'd love to do a Rick Ross record just as much as I'd love to do a, you know, El Sensei record. So, man, my early equipment, I was a demo version of Fruity Loops. You couldn't even like save your sessions. It would just, you had to bounce it when you made it. So I'd like leave the computer on all day, work on it, bounce it on a CD, listen to it in my car. And, you know, I think I was a shit.
And what did eventually? What was the kind of evolution from there to up to where you are?
Well,
now?
what's crazy is I still use Fruity Loops. I still use like the same old version that I had in high school, but not the demo. I can save now. But I basically just use it as a sequencer. I get all my drums off records. You know, got like a micro Korg that I've been using. You know, different keyboards here and there if I get a chance. Live instruments, Pro Tools, Guitar Rig, Cool Edit for samples. So just, you know, basically look through records, get sounds, or look anywhere to get sounds, and, you know, things that sound unique and distinct. I play keys a little bit. I'm not particularly good. Yeah. You know, I've got a friend, Sean, who goes by Sean Dammit, down in Orlando, who played guitar and a lot of stuff when I was down there. Like, here, obviously with Blitz and the Embassy Ensemble, we got a complete live band, you know, horn section, bass, drums, guitar, kora, like all kinds of crazy instruments. So my style, I would describe it as like, I don't go too over the top with chopping, things like that usually. I just try to make music that I would want to listen to, you know, like the stuff that if I'm on a road trip, I want to compete with my favorite artists. So like if I'm on a road trip, I want to hear my last beat that I made, you know, like I'll be listening to new Nas or whatever, and I want to be sitting there like, oh man, I want to hear that shit I just made though too, because it's just that shit that makes you feel good, or like if I'm making some hard shit, that shit that, you know, makes you scrunch your face up, like whatever it may be. I mean, the main project I'm known for is Blitz the Ambassador, his album Stereotype that came out last year and been getting crazy reviews, and you know, he's kind of blowing up around here in the city and you know, I guess in some other places as well. So I did all the beats but one on that, and then done Caveman Theory, the group from Orlando that broke up a couple years ago. I did some production on their first album, Stone Quartet. Been working a lot with Kallous. We did a project together. We got a new project that's about to come out that's just like his official like first LP, and it's crazy. Like nothing you've heard from anybody. Definitely not from me. My dude John Connor from Flint, Michigan. Been working a lot with him. And then Rob Murat is a soul singer here in New York. I did a couple tracks with him for his last project, So Much to Say, but we've been working together a lot, collaborating on his new album. And, you know, other little things here and there. Definitely should check for, but those are the main. Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of beat battles, not too many lately, really since Scribble. But like I did, let's see. The first one I did was in Cleveland. I don't even remember what it was called, but I went out there and I got robbed first round. But it was kind of like an eye-opener for how fun it could be and how, you know, just how to approach it. So from there, did a few in Orlando, lounge battles. I did one up here at New Eurekan in like '07 or so. And then Scribble's really like, I did Scribble Jam 2007 and 2008. 2008 I won. So that was like the big battle. Now I've done like the Red Bull. I did that in Detroit in '08. I did One Stop Shop in '08 out in Arizona, Shaw Money event. But I mean, so I'm like, edit that down. But I mean, with the battles, it's exciting. You know, I'm not a performer, but it gives me a chance to feel like a performer for a little bit, and you know, I can go out there. You know, I don't really dance too crazy or do any of that, but I can go and play my shit, hear it loud, you know, and see people's reaction. That's always fun because, you know, you just go up there and be kind of, I'm generally a fairly quiet person, but just go out there and, you know, make a lot of noise and so the main goals I have are just to, I feel like I'm setting myself up as somebody who can produce projects and like create a sound for an artist. And I want to continue to do that. I'm definitely interested in getting placements with bigger artists, things like that. But what I see is like my main goal is to push, you know, Blitz the Ambassador, Kallous, John Connor, Rob Murat, all these guys that I work with, you know, to push them to a level like where we all have our own sound, and that these are artists that I can continue to work with for years and be relevant and be making a living, whether the rest of the industry is seeking me out or not. Because, you know, with everybody else, you're hot one day, the next day you're not. And you know, I'm not looking to be somebody who comes in and makes a couple